Aloha and good afternoon. Thank you for joining us here on This Is Now. First today, as he gets ready to head back to the White House, President-elect Donald Trump's legal problems are fading into the background, at least for now.
Yeah, while his lawyers are working to wind down those cases, he's working to put his staff in place ahead of inauguration. Nicole Skanga has more details from the White House.
The Department of Justice has taken the first steps to end the criminal cases against President-elect Donald Trump. Special counsel Jack Smith filed a motion to vacate the remaining pretrial deadlines in order to give the government time to assess how to comply with DOJ policy. That policy prohibits prosecuting a sitting president. Judge Tanya Chutkin immediately granted the motion and asked for an update by December 2nd. Trump takes office January 20th. Thursday night, he made his first hire of the new administration.
The Ice Baby. We call her the Ice Baby.
Trump tapped campaign manager Susie Wiles to be his new chief of staff. Sources close to Trump tell CBS News' Robert Costa that Wiles is seen as smart and organized and someone who will not compete with Trump for attention.
Susie likes to stay in the background. She's not in the background.
Trump is also narrowing down his list for Secretary of State. CBS News has learned he's considering Florida Senator Marco Rubio and former Ambassador Richard Grenell. While Fox News reports Senator Bill Hagerty is also on the list, among others. Nicole Skanga, CBS News, the White House.
The Justice Department has unsealed criminal charges in a thwarted Iranian plot to kill President-elect Donald Trump before this week's presidential election. A criminal complaint filed in federal court in Manhattan alleges that an unnamed official in Iran's paramilitary Revolutionary Guard instructed a contact this past September to put together a plan to surveil and ultimately kill Trump. The plot reflects what federal officials have described as ongoing efforts by Iran to target U.S. government officials, including Mr. Trump, on U.S. soil. Federal authorities are looking into disturbing and racist text messages that were sent from unknown numbers to Black Americans in at least 10 states. Now, many of the messages, which were sent to middle school, high school, and college students, make reference to slavery. Adriana Diaz has more.
You have been selected to be a house slave at the Fieldview Farm Plantation. Be ready on Saturday, November 9th, 11 a.m. sharp.
This was the text message Latasha Nelson's 8th grade daughter, Jemiah, and her friend received while at home in Connecticut.
My daughter came down and showed me, I was like, wait a minute. I was angry. One, disgusted. Two.
In at least 10 states across the nation, CBS News has learned that Black Americans have received anonymous, racist text messages similar to these. And while varying slightly, many of the messages read, "You have been selected to pick cotton or become a house slave at a plantation."
I felt scared, sad, kind of shaken by it.
Devereaux Adams lives in Atlanta and is a student at Western Governors University.
If this was not during the election, I probably would have laughed it off. But I don't know, it hit me different because of when it happened. And considering that I have multiple friends that got the same exact message, same exact tone, and some, they don't even know how these people got their first and last name. And they're telling people, we know where you live. So it's like, whoa, this is not a prank. This is an actual threat.
Black students at several schools and universities have reported receiving the texts. And CBS News has verified that the texts were sent from numbers with area codes from at least 25 different states. Some through Text Now, which offers free phone numbers. In a statement, Text Now says it's learned that one or more of our accounts may have been used to send text messages in violation of our terms of service, adding it shut down the accounts as soon as it became aware.
Our ancestors died on plantations and lived lives and separated from their children. They didn't say they're coming to get all of us. They're saying you talk about coming to get my child, right? Removing my child from me to bring her back to something that's not even legal, never going to happen. And how dare you even send it to her? How dare you even think that that's something that would be funny to anybody?
Our CBS News Confirmed team was able to reach one of the people who sent one of those text messages from a Fort Wayne, Indiana area code. That person said the message was a prank before abruptly ending the call. The Federal Communications Commission is investigating along with state and local law enforcement, but it is still unclear who is behind this and how all the contact information was obtained. Adriana Diaz, CBS News, New York.
For the first time ever, a woman now leads Hawaii's House of Representatives. Kauai lawmaker Nadine Nakamura is the new Speaker of the House. Nakamura was elected back in 2016 and served as House Majority Leader for the past 2 years.
I think we definitely want to be collaborative, listen to different opinions, and at the end of the day, it's the will of the body. How they want to vote on legislation, what are their priorities, and what's really going to make a difference for working people in Hawaii.
The new House leadership team also includes Vice Speaker Linda Ichiyama, Majority Leader Sean Quinlan, Majority Caucus Leader Chris Todd, and Majority Floor Leader Dee Morikawa. The legislature will reconvene on January 15th. A gunman is on the run, wanted for an early morning shooting yesterday in Makiki. Here's what we know. It happened at around 4:20 a.m. near the intersection of Ward Avenue and Prospect Street. That's where the suspect allegedly shot a 53-year-old man after some sort of traffic incident. No word on the victim's condition and no other information about the suspect has been made available. The City Council is refusing to approve a $1.5 million settlement with the family of Lindani Miani. He was the man who was shot to death by police in Nu'uanu 3 years ago. The council chair canceled a vote on that yesterday, instead sending the lawsuit back to court. The city prosecutor is backing that decision, saying the police officers who shot Miani during a burglary call did nothing wrong. Miani's family argued that officers yelled orders at him without identifying themselves while shining lights in his face, and that race was a factor. Nearly 2,300 Oahu residents have signed a petition saying the city should not have to pay.
The military has charged Schofield Barracks soldier Dwayne Johnson with the murder of his wife, Misha Johnson, and intentionally killing her unborn child. The Eva Beach woman was 6 months pregnant when she disappeared in July, and her body has not yet been found.
The priority is still to bring Misha home in whatever condition that she's in. Right now, we haven't heard any updates from law enforcement on a place of interest to search. With the holiday season coming up, it's really tough on us, especially because she was going to be the last one to give birth of us three. So with Selena and I giving birth, and we're doing our best to enjoy the time that we have with our children and honoring Misha by being good moms.
Johnson is also charged with obstruction of justice and distribution of child pornography. In other news across the nation, a 13-year-old suspect is in custody after Wisconsin police said the teenager attempted to enter an elementary school yesterday while thought to be potentially armed. Shaquille Brewster is in Kenosha with the details.
Police are now calling this a threat of a school shooting rather than an attempt that was stopped. And that 13-year-old suspect was in court earlier today and is now facing 1 count of terroristic threats. Police say that he arrived at that elementary school yesterday wearing a black book bag and having a large duffel bag, but was stopped and ran away after being questioned by school staff. Police say that after they found this suspect at his home, they found multiple replica handguns and a replica firearm. And they say they talked to his mother, who said that he never had access to a firearm. They say that he told them that he was there at that elementary school to sell candy, but that he later told a social worker that he was there to scare the kids. The police chief here says there were still numerous red flags ahead of this incident, including comments that the suspect allegedly made to some of his peers, his online search history into past school shootings, and this video of him holding what police thought at the time was a rifle. The police chief reminding parents here to talk to their children and remind them that if they see something suspicious, they should make sure that they report it. In Kenosha, Shaquille Brewster, NBC News.
Maui County Mayor Richard Bisson is asking the state to hold off on today's contested case hearing over a water license requested by agriculture companies Alexander and Baldwin and Mahipono. In a heated letter released publicly Thursday afternoon, Bisson chastised the land board Don Chang, saying there's no legitimate reason for the hearing after she just agreed in September to let the county find a solution on its own. Bisson said his team was puzzled and extremely disappointed and that Chang is jeopardizing their efforts. We reached out to Chang and are awaiting a response. Back here on Oahu, traffic fears are among some of the concerns uniting opponents of a new housing project planned for Manoa. They say that community is already congested. As our Ben Gutierrez reports, the developer has made concessions, but some say it's still not enough to satisfy the neighbors.
A group of Manoa residents has been standing on the corner of East Manoa Road and Oahu Avenue, waving through the traffic, which they say will get worse if a developer's plan continues to go ahead. They braved the rainy rush hour with homemade signs to protest Aria Lane Manoa, a housing development by Avalon Group on the former campus of St. Francis School.
Basically, we feel that it was a mistake from the beginning for Avalon to make the decision to site a high-density, for-profit, large housing project.
Avalon bought the 11-acre site for $23.5 million this year. The original plan was to build 76 single-family homes and 26 townhomes. Avalon has since scratched the townhouse and instead plans to build 79 single-family homes and 14 multifamily homes. Skeptical residents say that's still too much for the area's narrow roads, including the one-lane Pamoa Road, leading to Aria Lane's main entrance.
This Aria Lane development is just going to create too much traffic, not only for us on Pamoa Road, but for all of Manoa. It's going to be terrible.
The traffic coming out of there has to come to 5 different intersections, and they're all hard to get out of already.
Avalon Group's CEO Christine Camp met with the community 4 times last May to hear their concerns. In a statement tonight, she said, "We are diligently working on delivering homes in Manoa in a manner that is respectful to the community." The company also changed to the parking design to make room for all residents and visitors within the development. Opponents still say the former campus should be used for other purposes.
The best thing I think would be is if UH acquired that property, they'd have a place for their lab school.
We feel that it should be preserved as a historic place and be a sanctuary for the entire community and a place for education about Hawaiian history.
No building permits have been issued yet, but Avalon is readying an archaeological study and other work preparations. In Manoa, Ben Gutierrez, Hawaii News Now.
And to a bit of good news, the baby goat that's been stuck on a cliff in West Oahu has been rescued. We're told a group went to the area where the goat was stuck, equipped with helmets and ropes. As they got closer, the baby goat climbed down a little lower and they were able to get him down safely. The goat had been trapped on this rocky cliffside behind the Waianae Coast Comprehensive Health Center for 4 days. Our Mahealani Richardson will have more on this story coming up in later editions of Hawaii News Now. Well, good news about the goat there.
Yes, I can't wait. Mahea is very excited to do this story.
She really is. She has been asking ever since yesterday, since we knew about the goat, to be on that story. So you will hear from the people who rescued the goat later this evening. So be sure to stay tuned for that. And let's send you live outside now. This is actually a look through Honolulu. As you can see, the conditions are rather gloomy and cloudy. It's not a first alert weather day. However, we do have these showers rolling through. But I also want to take a moment and show you Hilo, Hawaii. It is a completely different picture out there. Normally it's opposite. Hilo is the one that's raining and Oahu is sunny, but today we have flipped that. So stay tuned. After this short break, we'll have a look at your local forecast and more news coming up after this.
Happy Aloha Friday. Let's go ahead and take a look at the surf just real quickly. The waves are down 6 to 8 over on the North Shore, 4 to 6 on the west side, the North Shore wrap. East side's 4 to 6 kind of blown out there, but they will get bigger on Sunday with overlapping swells. Taking a look at your 7-day forecast, 15 to 20 mile per hour trade winds today. They'll stay in that 15 to 20 mile per hour range, a little bit stronger on Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, not too bad. Wednesday and Thursday, blustery conditions. So first alert weather for you for those days.
Now to the latest on that raging wildfire in Southern California. The blaze has damaged or destroyed nearly 200 homes and has scorched about 20,000 acres. California's governor has declared a state of emergency from LA to Santa Barbara. Jonathan Vigliotti has the latest.
A desperate attempt to save homes from the air and on the ground in Southern California's Ventura County.
I would take the hose and I put it on my hair because I got burned a couple places.
Janet McLaurin and her husband Dana, a retired firefighter, tried to hold off the flames for 3 hours.
I thought we were going to save it. I really did.
But wind gusts up to 80 miles per hour sent the embers flying far and fast.
It's gone. Everything. I mean, all the family memories.
This happened so fast. We didn't have any preparation.
What has this taught you? What's the lesson that you've learned?
Yeah, when you get an emergency alert, react quicker. I mean, because I would have got more of the stuff out that we really wanted to get out that we did.
More than 2,000 firefighters are working tirelessly. Their priority getting people to safety while putting out hot spots that could flare up.
These fires are dynamic. The fuels are ripe to burn. The winds are extreme. The fire is still actively burning.
McLaurin and her family, like many here, now face the daunting task of starting over.
I'm just trying to get a hold of insurance people. I've never done this before, so I don't know what I'm doing. And every time I go over something, oh, that was in the house. Oh no, can't do that. Anyway, it's tough. It's tough.
And the mountain fire is currently burning in remote and rugged terrain. The wind has calmed down, which should give fire crews the upper hand today. Jonathan Vigliotti, CBS News, Ventura County, California.
Beyonce is making Grammy history again. She nabbed 11 nods today, making her the most nominated artist ever. Bradley Blackburn has more.
This ain't Texas.
The album Cowboy Carter lassoed Beyonce 11 nominations for the 2025 Grammys. She rode off with nods in multiple categories, including country and Americana, making her the most nominated artist in Grammy history. In every top category, she'll face Taylor Swift. Swift is the first woman to have earned 7 Album of the Year nominations. She won it last year. Earning 6 nominations each, Sabrina Carpenter and Chappell Roan. They'll face off against each other for Best New Artist. Victoria Monet is the 2024 winner.
Knowing my musical peers loved my work this way was a huge honor, and it made for one of the best days of my life.
Post Malone, Billie Eilish, Kendrick Lamar, and Charli XCX each pulled in 7 nominations. Older names echoed too. The Rolling Stones notched a nod for Best Rock Album, while the Beatles are up for Record of the Year for the AI-assisted song Now and Then. The 2025 Grammy Awards will air live on CBS, and Gayle King kicked off Friday's live announcements.
I can't wait to see what historic Grammy moments will be made this year. Remember, we all remember Tracy Chapman and Luke Combs' duet last year. That was knockout.
More signature pairings will take the stage when the Grammys are handed out February 2nd. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
And this year's Grammy announcements also come with a Hawaii tie. Ho'omai Ka'itu Kalani Pe'a for his album Kuini, which is nominated in the Best Regional Roots Music Album category. Pe'a already has 3 Grammys under his belt. This is his 4th nomination for the category, and he's won a Grammy every time he's been nominated. Pe'a took to social media to thank the team of producers, mixers, and engineers who worked on the album. And if you're looking for some fun in the sun this Veterans Day, our Casey Lunn shows us some of the deals at Wet n Wild Hawaii.
Oh man, oh. Okay. I've been down the Shaka many times, but it gets me every time. I'm here with my dear friend Eddie Galdones. He's a marketing director for Wet n Wild. It's pretty much a straight drop.
It is. That initial drop is the best part.
Yeah, so one of my favorite rides for sure. And we want to talk about all that's happening out here. Before we get to Veterans Day, though, I do want to talk about the new attraction. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Eddie, it's coming in summer of 2025, right over your shoulder there. Tell me about the volcanic wedgie.
That's right. 65 feet up in the air will be a platform. So for those people that remembers Hawaiian Waters Adventure Park, we've taken an old ride and mix it with a ride that we have right now called the Surf Slider, and made a hybrid of that ride, and we came up with Volcanic Wedgie.
Tell me some of the other kind of cool aspects of this. There's lights. There's even a place where you can see riders go down.
That is correct. Guests will go down 26 miles per hour on an enclosed tube, similar to a lava tube, and they'll go down on a series of tubes that are lit. And also translucent.
I do want to talk about Veterans Day and then a reminder that deal is happening on Monday.
On Monday, that's correct. U.S. active duty military, reservist, DOD, veteran, retired, get it for just $11.11.
Yeah, and then the family and friends of those folks, half off. So if you have a group and you want to come to Wet n Wild, this is the weekend to do it. If you've served our country, you deserve it. Okay, I said last thing ago, but I want to also ask about adult nights, because I just remembered those are happening. One's happening right before Thanksgiving.
That is correct. Right before Thanksgiving, November 27th, we're transforming the park into a Glowtopia. There'll be neon foam right behind me, dancing, drinks, night riding, you name it. It's an exclusive adults-only pool party.
Yeah, come without the kids, have a little fun, let loose. Eddie Galdones, and of course, be safe. That's number one here at Wet n Wild, but always so much fun. We appreciate you and the gift that you're giving veterans this Veterans Day weekend. And on Monday, if you miss any of those details, just go to HawaiiNewsNow.com. We'll send things back into the studio, guys.
And now we'd like to share an announcement about this show, This Is Now. Come Monday, when you tune in, things will look a little bit different. This show, which has long been a condensed operation out of our digital center, or even the earlier days of the control room with Jonathan Soppy, is getting a revamp. This Is Now will be moving to Studio B. It will have flashy, bright new graphics, be run through our control room, but still have the same news and info you've come to depend on in the middle of your day. Our team is also taking on some new roles. Our Emily Cristobal will be our lead producer and run the show from the booth. Our Davis Pittner, who is already our main editor, will continue to do so, serving as a backup producer. And Todd Kamisato will be our what we call TMP, controlling all the camera shots and playing all of the stories on air. And of course, we have our Drew Davis joining us live every day for your First Alert weather forecast. This transition was a huge undertaking, and it took a whole team to pull it off. We hope you will tune in come Monday to see what's next on This Is Now. Some exciting things ahead for the show indeed. And with that also comes a transition in roles here. Ashley Nagaoka will be taking over as the main anchor for This Is Now, which means I will not be seeing you folks every single day, but it has been amazing to work alongside the entire This Is Now team. For the last almost 2 years now. Yeah. We have been faced with a lot of challenges out of this digital center, bringing you the hard news from the Lahaina wildfires to election coverage and everything in between. But I thank you, I thank the entire team, Ashley, Davis, Emily, the digital team, and also thank you for the lay, and also to my fiance, Dustin, who is in here today with us, and everyone who's tuned in every single day, my ohana on Kauai, my grandparents, and just everyone. So we thank you guys.
We'll still be seeing Dylan.
Yeah,
for sure.
I'm not going anywhere, but just not every day, So thank you all so much for watching. Have a great day. Aloha.
Aloha.